Aloha and welcome back to Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour. Do you like my hat? I got a new hat. If you watch this show a bunch, you'll notice my affinity for hats. I got this particular hat this weekend at the Orange Circle in California because it looks shockingly close to the one that Don the Beachcomber wore. And a dude named Beach Bum Bert, who I think was trying to emulate Don the Beachcomber, but he had a place called Beach Bum Bert. And of course he opened the chain of nautical inspired restaurants called the Warehouse Restaurants, but we're not talking about Beach Bum Bert. To go with my new hat, I got a new book. This book is from 1968. It's called Akole Maluna. Bottoms up. The Amateur Bartender's Hawaiian Friend. Hello, friend. I'm always interested to find vintage recipe books because I'm always curious about how they interpret different cocktails. This book seems to be written by a guy named South Sea Scotty. Got all kinds of tips in the book about like do-it-yourself kits for your bar, measurements, hangover cures. But the section that caught my attention was Hawaii's most popular new cocktails. The 4 cocktails that it features here are the Mai Tai, the Blue Hawaii, the Chi Chi, and the Scorpion. I'm sure we will get to all of those cocktails eventually, but tonight, I'm very curious about this version of the Mai Tai. And you're like, dude, we've already done, what, 3 different versions of the Mai Tai? Yeah, we have. This whole YouTube channel could just feature versions of the Mai Tai, but of course we know that the original Mai Tai was 1944 by Trader Vic, but I like seeing the different incarnations of the Mai Tai. Let me read to you a little bit about what it says in this section here. The 4 recipes on this page are the ones most requested by visitors to Hawaii. Although the rest of the recipes in this book are categorized by the alcoholic beverage to be used, we felt that these 4 deserve to be put on a separate page. It is our pleasure to be able to include them in our book. And we sincerely thank the Colonel's Plantation Beefsteak and Coffee House at the International Marketplace in Waikiki for allowing us the privilege to use them. What is the Colonel's Plantation Beefsteak and Coffee House? So I did some digging. My buddy Gregory Scott sent me a photo of an ad. It looked like a figure of Don Beach next to the Colonel's Plantation House. What does Don the Beachcomber have to do with the Colonel? Who's the Colonel? Nobody knows. I don't know. But I asked my buddy Tim Swanky Glasner, who has become one of the foremost authorities on the life of Don Beach, what did he have to do with it? And he sent me a photo of Don Beach at the Colonel's Plantation Beefsteak and Coffee House. So I do want to thank them for the information. This was a place that Don the Beachcomber owned, hence the hat. I read the recipe earlier, and it's weird. And for this cocktail, we will be using limes, lemons, simple syrup, Orgeat, dark Jamaican rum, and 151 demerara rum. Okay, so that I don't screw this up, I'm gonna read the directions directly from the book. Now, it says fill a giant old-fashioned glass with crushed ice. Okay, we know how to do that. Here's our old-fashioned glass. I didn't have a Don the Beachcomber glass handy, so we're gonna use one with Beach Bum Bert on the cover because they look similar. We all have matching hats now. Okay, the glass is full of ice. Let's see what we do next. Add 1 cherry and half a slice of pineapple. What? That's like the next ingredient is 1 cherry and 1/2 slice of pineapple. Okay, I guess we will slide this over here. A quick note about pineapples. Don't throw this thing away because these spears here make for great garnishes. And we're just going to slice a slice off there. Cut that in half. Half slice of pineapple. I mean, that's half a slice, right? Okay. If you think I'm doing anything wrong here, feel free to mention it in the comments below. I'm literally just guessing as we go. Dude, that is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Okay. Let me consider this for a second here. We often see pineapple garnishes like this. Let me cut away the rind. Okay. We got that there. Maybe we'll thin this out just a little bit. Oh, you know what? And we also see this, right? We see the pineapple cord. Let's use this little piece. That's a little bit better, right? I guess. It also says to add 1 cherry. So here's my thought. My thought is that I can't get this open. Okay. I like using the jumbo cherries. I think they're mostly made for desserts. I just feel like the small maraschino cherries look so wimpy in the drink that it's like, why don't you just get a bigger cherry? And we're gonna be using this little sword here. That's kind of a vintage touch. I know that people in the comments are gonna go, well, dude, why didn't you use a Luxardo? Don't you know about Luxardo cherries? Yeah, dude, I've made 130 videos. I know all about Luxardo cherries. I think these are more vintage. certainly Luxardo are more delicious. Okay, so this is how we're starting to make the drink. We garnish the cocktail first. What? Have you ever made a cocktail where you garnish it first? Me neither. Okay, so next up it says add the ingredients in the order that they're listed and stir, except the heavy rum. Heavy rum, which is generally floated on top. So it starts with 1 ounce of dark rum. I'm going to be using Hamilton dark rum for this because I want it to be probably a better tasting cocktail than it would have been back then. You are looking for a good dark rum and you can't find Hamilton, try Karuba. And if you can't try Karuba, almost everybody has Myers. And I don't really mind Myers that much either. It says to add the dark Jamaican rum first. Oh, there we go. Then it says a dash of Orgeat. Okay, now when Trader Vic mentions a dash of Orgeat, he's talking about a 1/4 ounce. But in this book, when they talk about a dash, they're talking about 1/3 of a teaspoon is a dash. So here is the Orgeat. Here is the teaspoon. Of course, we pour it over something else and then we add it to the drink afterwards. Okay, the next ingredients, it says 1 1/2 ounce sweet and sour mix. Now it says to use 3/4 ounce lemon juice to 1/4 ounce sugar syrup to make 1 ounce of sweet and sour mix. Okay, so let's make 1 ounce first. Okay, so that's 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. We're gonna add 1/4 of simple syrup to make the sweet and sour syrup. Just gonna mix it up real quick. But we need 1 1/2. So here is our first 1 ounce. I'm just going to block out the seeds. And I wanna make 1 more ounce of sweet and sour syrup, and I'm just gonna use half of that. And another 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. So this is gonna be a lemon heavy cocktail, apparently. Let me just mix this around a little bit here. And I'm just going to pour in half of this. Okay, that is 1 1/2 ounces of sweet and sour syrup. Next up is 1/2 ounce of heavy rum. Now, it doesn't say anywhere in here what the hell heavy rum is. I just expected that heavy rum is probably 151 rum, and so we are going to pour 1/2 ounce into here. Now, before we pour that in, it says to add the ingredients in the order they are listed and stir, except for the heavy rum, which is gently floated on top. Let's give this a quick little stir. I don't know why they told us to put this in here first because it's just in the way now. So, yeah, I don't know. Anybody in the comments understands why you would do that first? Please let me know. Plus, the ice is starting to get a little melty. Like, this is an odd way to go about it. But if the ice is getting melty, then that means that we're introducing water into the drink, and that's probably what they intended. Now, in order to float something on the top of a drink, you're gonna use the back of your spoon, and you just gently pour it down on there. And that should give us a nice layered look to the cocktail. Would you look at that? So what we have here is basically a tourist Mai Tai. That's fine. But this is not the Mai Tai. The Mai Tai is the 1944 Trader Vic's Mai Tai. The last step, it says to garnish with a sprig of mint and a vanda orchid if available. A vanda orchid is not available. So we will garnish with a sprig of mint. As you know, here at the Breezeway, we don't skimp the mint. So we're gonna get a big piece here, strip off the bottom leaves, give it a little bit of a whack there just to liven the thing up, and then put it right in the back. And there we have the Colonel's Plantation Beach Steak and Coffee House Mai Tai. I think I got that right. Before we get into tasting the cocktail, if you want to help support the Breezeway Cocktail Hour, join the Patreon. I will send you this enamel pin. You will get an opportunity to buy merch before it goes on sale to the general public, and you will have an opportunity to come to the Breezeway and have cocktails with me in the Breezeway Cocktail Club. Look for that starting in January of next year. Very exciting stuff. Also, if you haven't already seen last week's episode, my girlfriend and I went to San Francisco. We went to 5 tiki bars in 2 days and rated them against each other. So go back and watch that episode. If you're interested in a Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour glass bamboo straw, go to surfsidesips.com, enter Breezeway in the coupon code. You get a little bit of a discount on this, and you'll help support the Breezeway Cocktail Hour. And with that, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Let's taste this cocktail. That is very interesting. It tastes like a 1944 Trader Vic's Mai Tai, but without the nuance. It's kind of more of a blunt whack on the head with the sweet and sour, with all of the lemon juice. It's not as delicate as a 1944 Mai Tai. The dark rum cuts through with like a nice molasses kind of flavor. It almost fakes the flavors of the 1944 Mai Tai. Am I getting that wrong? Make this one at home. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this drink. It's good. Be sure to stay to the very end to find out if I was in a restaurant or a bar, if I would order this cocktail again. Dude, there's one more step that I totally forgot. And I just remembered because I was reading this earlier and it said squeeze of lime. So you're just supposed to like squeeze a lime in there? Okay. That's a lot of lime juice, man. If you squeeze, and it doesn't specify how much, so if you squeeze half a lime in there, it's more than likely half an ounce of lime juice. Let's see what that does to the drink. Wow, that adds a lot. Definitely adds, oh no, the whole drink's falling apart here. What a weird cocktail. I bet you the reason they put the garnish in first was because when they were making these things at the Colonel's Beef Steakhouse in Waikiki, they were probably like rushing. A lot of customers. Let's try it with the lime juice now. It definitely makes it more tart. I don't know if I like it with the squeeze of lime in there. No, I think that totally overpowers the whole thing. It just threw my whole deal out of whack. Plus I just mixed in the 151, and I think the 151 is intended to like be your last slurp as it gets down to the bottom. So that you have like this little punch right in the ball, right at the end of the drink. It's a bit too tart for me now. Would I order this cocktail again? I don't think so. But if I was in Waikiki, in the international marketplace, before they knocked it all down, yeah, I would probably have a couple of these. But in general, probably not. But I will finish it. Maybe like 15 years ago, I did go to the international marketplace in Waikiki, and I was well into tiki back then. But I wish I would have had the context and the knowledge that I have now after doing this show to have been able to go and explore the international marketplace, being able to know where certain things were, like Don's Treehouse or the Trader Vic's, or all of those places, or the place where Martin Denny stood on the stairs in front of that tiki for the cover of his record, or the back of his record. Back of his record. It's a shame because the international marketplace in Waikiki will never be the same. The Queen's International Hawaiian something or other. I don't know. They own the property and they wanted to redevelop it. The sad thing is the international marketplace fell into horrible disrepair. It was kind of seedy. It was kind of gross. The vendors were selling like cheap Chinese kind of tchotchkes. Not really what Don Beach. Well, and Don Beach was the creator of the international marketplace. When he left Hollywood, he came to Hawaii and said, I want to create a place that really features the artists and the artisans and the musicians of old Hawaii. And so he created this place called the International Marketplace, where he featured Don the Beachcomber and his frenemy, Trader Vic. And he had all kinds of stuff like the Colonel's, whatever it's called, Colonel's Beef Steakhouse. But I wish they hadn't knocked it down and remodeled it. It's too bad. It's always, as tiki keeps getting bigger and bigger, people don't have the foresight to turn that into a Hawaiian cultural center. Instead, they want to put a Gap in there and a Rolex dealership, and a Rolex store and that kind of stuff. So it's too bad. But at least it happened. You could sit in the Colonel's Beef Plantation Steakhouse. That's a very awkward name. Colonel's Plantation Beef Steakhouse. And have one of these Mai Tais. It's not so bad. So I look forward to doing more cocktails from the Akole Maluna book. What do you guys think? Into it? Of course, Akole Maluna means bottoms up. Like bottom of your glass up, you know what I mean? With that, Akole Maluna. Sparky, there's too much jingling going on. Too much jingling, Bubba. At the international marketplace in Waikiki for allowing the at the international market. It is our pleasure to be in. It was like Dawn. It looked like a 151. Dude, that's super good. Go eat some pineapple. It's super good. And then it. Okay, now when. The last step, it says to garnish with a sprig of mint and a vanda. Strip off the bottom petals, leaves. Also, if you didn't already see last week's episode, my girlfriend and I went to Palm Springs. No, we didn't. And with that, it's interesting. What is this f***ing thing above me? Like a helicopter or something? Hello.
Hi.
I just have a couple more things to say. Hi, Sparky. What's that? Yeah. You gonna be on camera?
No.
You are now. Too tangy, right?
It's too limey.
Too limey. What do you guys think about the hat? Yes? No? Yes? No? It's kind of a weird hat, right? Very like, hello. Look at my hat.